I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This piano just got delivered here, just finished up in the shop like yesterday. So it is brand new, fresh, ready to go, and it turned out beautiful. It was originally built in 1913 in New York, and right almost at the peak, just barely after the peak of American piano manufacturing, which peaked in 1911. So World War I era, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So we've completely rebuilt it. So of course, cosmetically I'd probably give it probably an A- B+. It still has some very slight flaws, but it is really, really pretty. If you've ever dealt with refinishing old furniture, you know that you can never get it 100%, especially when you're dealing with something that's 105 years old, but it is really, really pretty, really good looking. Keys, of course, are completely redone, so the keys are absolutely perfect, both the whites and the sharps. The pedals, those are the original pedals, even though they look brand new, we replated them. So those are, which you know, here again, you can see some of the wear. You can see like where someone's foot has kind of worn off this like kind of waffle pattern, but it's just been replated. So that's, you know, little. I frankly think those kinds of things are pretty cool. That even though it's not like absolute perfection, it's still it's beautiful, but it still kind of retains that some scars, I guess you could call it, from being 105 years old. I guess anything that's 105 years old has that right to have a few scars. Okay, then on the inside, we've replaced all of the major components, all of the components that are really crucial to tone production and really the functionality. So the hammers, as you can tell right now in that video, are all brand new. These are high quality hammers that we put on, and they sound great. I'm going to play for you in just a minute. Then the dampers, you can see the dampers behind this little mute rail, which, by the way, what that does is it makes it so that you can play softly. It puts the felt down in between the hammer and kind of mutes it out. So the dampers are replaced, the hammers are replaced, the hammer shanks are replaced, all of the pinning on the hammer butts are replaced, the bridle straps are replaced, the bushings on the keys, and of course, like I said, the sharps and the white keys are replaced. This decal here is a replica. That's been replaced. That is what the original decal looked like, but when we refinished it, of course, that had to go, unfortunately. But we've got a good replica. And then the entire track work, which is everything having to do with the pedals, all of that is completely rebuilt and in beautiful condition. What else? Of course, it's thoroughly cleaned, lots of new felt, like the hammer rest rail, the back rail where the keys rest, the balance rail underneath the center of the keys, and all of the front rail felts there. Those have all been replaced. Number of felts in the action, all of those things that of course 100 years is way too much for things like that. So those are just all brand new. Anyway, piano's awesome, fully regulated. Everything's been aligned and lubricated and tightened. We're trying to restore it as much as we can to what it was in 1913. We do remain true, like in the hammers, for example. That's a good example. We'll remain true to the original size and weight and the way the hammers are fit, basically, and the strike point, those kinds of things that are all in the original 1913 engineering, so that we can remain true to what was done by those guys 100 years ago. Okay, I think the only thing left, I've given you a pretty thorough tour of this piano. The only thing left is probably just to play it. And someone said just a little bit earlier before I made this video that this piano sounds like chocolate, which I agree. just has a beautiful tone. Really rich. That's why I love these pianos. These 100-year-old, these World War I era, 1890 to 1930. They sound like this. This is why I really love these pianos. Lots of projection and power and that richness and beauty that you do not get. Of course, I don't want to denigrate modern pianos. Modern pianos are awesome. I'm a huge fan of modern pianos as well. I'm a piano enthusiast all around, but there is just absolutely no replacement for that sound, and the touch also is which you can't get a sense of on the video. The touch is very responsive, very consistent, very smooth. And then the final thing that I'll mention is durability. When we rebuild these pianos and we're redoing all of these major components, they will last decades. So this is not a piano that like when I work on a piano in someone's home, for example, that is a piano from this era but hasn't been rebuilt. Usually what I'll mention, I'll say, yeah, I can do this repair, I can tune it, I can make it sound good, but it's probably going to need some more repairs or it's going to have some more issues in a few months or in a year, and inevitably they do, and it's simply because of age. That is not the case on this piano or this one's a 1903 or any of these others that are from this 1890 to 1930 era, because they've been so thoroughly and so painstakingly rebuilt. They just last and last and last. I've sold many hundreds of these rebuilt pianos over the years, and I've watched them, and they do last very, very well. Yeah, so I hope you like this one. If you don't like this one, lots and lots of others to choose from. Thanks for watching.